2 more shelves to go, and then we'll go back to a normal steady cam proper venue of what the hell do I own? So again, I felt a little odd doing these videos where it's like box opening, but it's like, well, I really don't know what I have. I'm surprised in half the stuff, so it still constitutes. Ghostbusters from Mattel. They did a great line. I'm at that point now where it's okay to have a loose collection. Again, all the carded figures are the exact same package over and over. And if I already have them loose, then, you know, let it go. So that's probably about 20 bucks. The Mattel line didn't really contain a strong value. Starcom. Damn. That is just so nice. I wish I had more of these. This one's dead stock sealed. That's great. I have a nice collection. I wish I picked up so much more. I don't have a lot of the European figures. In Europe, they received 4 vehicles, if I'm correct, the gift set, and then about 8 figures that were repaints. And I have a couple of them, but I never pursued them like I should have because the market has just gone up and up and up. And I think we all know how that feels. But it's nice to have like, hey, I went back and it's not flawless, not AFA 85. I probably still pick this up for 20 bucks at a local show, and I'm very happy to have it. That will not be for sale. Probably resale value for a Laser Rat sealed at this point is about maybe 100 tops. Got some oddball items up here that squashed the top of that box. What do we got? We got an Evangelion, little promo, plus other stuff. I was a sucker to just keep random stuff like an idiot of just anything and everything. You know, they hand you this stuff. You're kind of like, okay, I'll keep it. I'll take it home. We have my original Action Master backer card. So yeah, I literally kept everything. I don't remember going to Children's Palace though. We have a poster. I'm kind of excited. What's the poster? What's the poster? What's in the box? Oh, it's the Evangelion poster for UFO Catcher. And we have, as I mentioned earlier, we have Butterfingers. So we have Mrs. Brisby in their home with Auntie Shrew falling. I'm surprised the live action movie has not started. And I don't understand why Amazon has not decided to put in $10 billion to make a live animated series of Secret of NIMH. Because if they're wasting money on that crap, they might as well just waste it on more crap. Okay, we are back. So this is an interesting piece. This is a bag from Japan, obviously. And I believe this was a store piece that you would purchase at that time frame. And it was advertising the Sentai series from about 94. And you would just pick up stuff and this would just help advertise the Bandai series that was out. Funny enough, it would be great if I owned this set. It was a little bit more detailed. You see how the lion head in the chest is green? We didn't have that in the US. There was a lot more paint deco and sticker deco for this Zord that we just never got. And it would just be, oh my God, there's one right there. How did that happen? It's magic. It's magic. Literally, it was just there from a previous video that hasn't been aired yet. Or did I air it? I don't know. We have Voltron from Trendmasters. This is the plastic missile firing Voltron. These have gone up in value. There's a lot more interest in these. And these run about, the little mini pilots, probably about 55, 60. I will be keeping this one. I'm not sure if I have a loose one. It's the Voltron box downstairs got a little, here's a Star Wars little pamphlet, about 15, 20. We're going to put that in the giant Star Wars pile. So we're going to be working on the vintage Star Wars stuff. There's 4 tubs of those. Purge this tub of Part of the Force 2, and there's 1 Part of the Force 2 tub there. And we're going to have a garage sale, baby. So this is a neat piece. A lot of things that have been shown so far, a lot of you guys have seen. I found it much better to lay the stuff on the ground versus me jumbling the camera around. So this is an interesting piece up here. This is the Banpresto Hallway World collectible figure, which was a specialized little mini figures they were making for Star Wars, probably around 2015, 2016, fully licensed. Banpresto is a very well-known company in Japan. What makes this exciting is the letter A, as in EHAHEAI. So the letter A here designates that this is prize number A. So in Japan, prizes at 7-Eleven, Lawson, AM, PM, and other convenies are very popular. And you usually pay around 500 yen, about $5, and you just literally pick out of a box behind the counter a little ticket, and at random it'll be A through like F, and F being the lowest, cheapest prize, like a little keychain. And A here was actually the main prize. And I did win this in Japan. I was pretty excited. It's really cool, the little hallway sequence we have from the first original New Hope movie. At this point, I'm going to let it go. I don't think the market's really there. Maybe about $50. This might be pushing it. But I think since then, they've already made the hallway for like the Kenner size figures. But still, it's just a really neat piece. And of course, when you win it, it's so much more fun. So again, with the purge of Power of the Force and Star Wars vehicles, this is a tough one. The TIE Interceptor really is just a reissue, but it's a really nice, clean reissue. It's a really nice, clean, repainted reissue. I'm going to check the market. I don't think it's going to be big bucks, but it's in a clean box, maybe 50 to 60. The Y-Wing was beautiful, but this isn't too much more different than the original Kenner version, but it really is. So kind of a tough call on my part. I think I'm going to probably end up keeping it, to be honest with you, just to have a couple of those classic vehicles in updated standards without those stickers always falling off. Yeah, this does look quite nice. And I think they did a great job with this being an updated piece. Can't sell everything Star Wars. There is a point where you're just like, dude. And as the videos continue on, we're going to be getting out of the newer toys. And we're going to get to hardcore vintage where people will be like, oh my Lord. And they'll be like, you give me the vapors. And that'll happen soon. So here we have the Macross SV51R. Again, love my Macross and Robotech. I'm not getting into the newest in every incarnation of the Valkyrie. But some of these were just really, really sweet. And this one, I watched the movie and I was like, that's a unique take on it. So this is from Macross Zero. Absolutely fascinating transformation. The head design is a little off. I love all the missile pods, the colors. It was a strong looking vehicle. And I didn't go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs on every vehicle. I think I only have about 2 or 3 other newer vehicles loose like this. But I'm more excited to pick up a vintage Takatoku Myriad to go with my Max right now. Boxed in absolute fantastic shape. Than picking up like the 9th reincarnation of a Valkyrie from the original series. It's a little old. Maybe I'll get a little more into the newer vehicles as I watch them for the series that I've been missing for quite some time. But yeah, still a super sweet piece. And coming back up, we had the police car from Mario Brothers. Now, I know you guys love the movie just as much as I did. As a kid, I knew the movie sucked. Like, it wasn't Mario, obviously. But for some reason, I'm still a kid. So I'm still like, I'm liking it because I'm stupid. So when Daisy burst the door at the very end, they're like, we got another event happening. We got to go. I was like, hell yeah, there's going to be a sequel. This is going to be great. And I'm still waiting, guys. I'm still waiting. And the newest Mario movie, I couldn't even finish that thing. I got about halfway through and I was like, this is not for me. If it was all about the bad guys, like the little Goombas hanging out with the Spinies and stuff, just shooting the shit, I would have preferred that. And just, meh. So this is a very difficult card to get from Ertl. Ertl produced the action figure line, and well, as you know, it didn't do the world in sales, but they did produce 2 very difficult series of, well, playset and vehicles. The police car is very uncommon to get, and then the de-evolutionizer with an exclusive Goomba with an alternate head. Those are hard to get. This runs about $100. I actually had to go out of my way to pick up the car online for a fair price, sealed, because it's just that rare. You're not going to go to a toy show or a flea market and find this. The de-evolutionizer, well, if we get the room, which I think we are, then I'll put that on my plate. Stepping that back, here is the 3rd robot that was hiding from our previous video a little whiles back from the Sega line. So Sega, making money from Sega Genesis, was like, we got to expand. They needed to expand into other areas to make money. So they tried anime, as we mentioned earlier, Magic Ray Earth. This is a live Sentai show. And there was some success and there wasn't some limited success. So this is one of 3 robots that transformed. And well, it just, let me put it this way. When I did research on the values of these toys, there were a number of them up for sale, but there were no sales. So I think it's just kind of in the past now. And if you look at the vehicles in general, they just don't really transform into anything that's concise. It looks idiotic. Like, I know the figure hooks into it, but what the hell is it? It's a giant blow dryer. It's a giant blow dryer robot. Anyways, moving on, about 50 bucks. So when the Zoids came out, I made sure to buy like every Hasbro Zoid, some for resale, some for keep, and I kept them in absolutely fantastic boxes. So here's the original Liger, fully electronic version. I even have the store display for this because I'm just mentally nuts. I was stealing so many store displays, and I'd only steal them when the toy line was done, okay? Just to let you guys know. I wouldn't steal like the Liger, like this, the toy in the giant bubble. I would go in there and be like, okay, the Zoids are literally gone from the shelves, and you still have shelf talkers. Yoink. Then we have Command Wolf from Irvine. Much more difficult to get the large side electronic version than the Shield, not the Shield Liger, the Liger Zero. Probably up there now, to be honest. I'd probably say about $100 each, maybe a little bit more. No one's like excited to get dead stock sealed yet at this point, but it is what it is. I paid 30 bucks retail. That was $14.98 at Target. Thank you, Target. Absolutely nice. Do they still work? I don't know how to activate him yet. Nope, he doesn't do the howl. Oh, but still happy to have those. I'm so happy they survived. But I think the Hasbro Zoid market's just kind of one of those things that's not really going up at a strong pace, but there are definitely collectors. It just needs a reboot or something. But it's also in that transition of being an action figure as well as a model kit. So it's mostly a model kit. And therefore, when these action figures came out that Hasbro did produce on their own, people were more excited about that. But it's still this quasi thing that people just haven't wrapped their head on, that they like it because it's a kit or they like it because it's a toy. And finally, a dead stock Ghost Striker X16. These are uncommon. They were always uncommon. So when I was mentioning with the later 90s Joes, these were put on sale. They sold okay, but they weren't as popular as our cartoon animated series that we grew up with all those characters. We were already in that point where it was just back to being a basic toy line. And all the figures they were producing were just, whatever. I would mention, though, the carded figures like Battle Core and later on, the Space, they were more common because they were just being pumped out. The Ghost Striker and other larger vehicles cost more money to make. So when you found things on clearance or the case finds later on in the years, you wouldn't find vehicles like this or the Apache being blown out. They just cost too much. So I went out of the way at a show, and I did find one long ago, dead stock sealed, and I was like, I will absolutely grab this. This piece is probably at the market now, maybe 150 to 200, maybe more. There are people who would sit there and say, no, it's worth like $500, and it could be. I could be wrong. But I think there's a lot of people pushing prices, especially these days, post 2020, 2022, and all those massive price increases. We're seeing some stuff coming down, and people can't let go because they probably paid $300 and they want the $500, and it's only worth $300 or $200. I don't know. Future Alex will let us know down below, but I'm just happy to have one that's not for sale. Most of this shelf, unfortunately, and fortunately at the same time, is not for sale. And that wraps up the conclusion here. We're going to hit this last shelf up here. We're going to postpone the shelf that's behind here, and we're going to now start crushing through all these wonderful toys, Power Rangers, Xena. Oh my God, you guys are going to love Xena. 80s toys, Transformers, Star Wars, Bakugan. We literally have an entire tub right there of Ninja Turtles vintage with some Shoguns in it and later Turtles. it's going to be great. And we're going to start hitting that stuff up. This giant cube brick will be hit. And then we have to go to the other side, which goes, oh my God, it goes all the way back there. And yeah, we're going to have a great time.